motion. We have a second from Mr. Talbot. Thank you. Discussion?
Thank you.
Who is Marilyn?
Some new person who's just started. I think everybody knows who Ms. Milton is. She's been the clerk of the council for many, many years. And we're extending her contract once again, while the Personnel Committee has been working on trying to come up with a more unified way of keeping the clerks together. We have to abide by certain state statutes in terms of record keeping and things like that. So the Personnel Committee has been working on that, just not ready as yet. And we feel that it would be a good thing to begin next year under the new terms of what we're coming up with. And I don't know if Mr. Talbot has anything to add to that. But.
No, and it is for all boards and commissions, not just for council, but the Personnel Committee has been looking at it for all of our boards and commissions.
Terrific. Any other questions or comments on this? Okay, I'll call for a vote then. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries unanimously of those present. Okay, now we go to K, which is the approval of Boulder Knoll Beekeeper Lease Agreement. Did call for a possible executive session. I don't think we have to go there unless I'm going to be outvoted. Okay. Well, I know this can be a sticky subject. I mean. Okay. And I don't want to get stung. So, all right, who's going to do that motion? Mr. Veliver.
Yes,
He's-
thank
he's-
you.
he's
Thank you
the-
very
he's
much.
the
And I'm
man
gonna-
with the motion.
I'm gonna steal.
No second for you.
So I was just gonna steal the joke. I don't know what the buzz about is. All the buzz is here. So, I thought I'd take all the groans for that one. So, be it resolved, the town council approves resolution 061422-13. Be it resolved, the town council approves the lease agreement with the Connecticut Beekeepers Association, Inc. of 49 Old Sherman Hill Road, Woodbury, Connecticut 06798 as presented. And be it further resolved, the town council authorizes town manager Sean M. Kimball to execute this amendment, for said lease agreement pursuant to the terms and conditions as presented and the approval by the town attorney as to form and function.
Okay, so we have a second for Ms. Pavano. Any discussion on this?
Thank you very much. This is just a lease agreement for a portion of the property at 866 Boulder Road to allow a tenant beekeeper to maintain beehives on the property for a term from June 2022, to take us today, the signing, and expire on May 31st, 2024. And it would allow for the space for beekeeping, pollination, bee breeding, and as a teaching yard to promote the proper care of pollinators. But it may not be used for commercial, non-farm activities such as honey producing, extraction, or honey sales without permission of the landowner.
Okay. So this also complies with all the fair housing
Yes.
regulations? Okay.
Right,
fine.
right.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. I guess I'll call for a vote on this. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We're now on to the approval of the stipulated agreement for tax assessment appeal that will call for an executive session for which we will come out and have action on that. So we can hold that to the end of the meeting and then just proceed with the rest of the meeting as long as we all remember to come back to it. Okay, great. With that, we got the town manager report and communications. And with that, Sean?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So before you is the June 2022 Town Manager's Report. I will give a brief COVID pandemic data update as I typically do. You'll see, I was just going to draw your attention to the yellow line there in the graph of the last month, fluctuating up and down. I think it's no surprise case rates have been higher. We all know anecdotally of a number of folks that have had COVID, I'm sure, but over the last few weeks. But as you'll see, we're starting to see a trend back down. But I think what you're also seeing there is just unreliable data in terms of number of folks actually getting official tests that are taken up into the state system and then reported back to us. So we do have, though, a local positivity rate at 4.2%. That's 85 positives in Cheshire out of 2,000 tests over the last week, and that's down from 14.5% the same time last month. The rolling 3-day average of this reported metric, again, which lags a little bit, is at 8.1%. But you see there, it's been vacillating. So we are with the map, the red and orange map currently that we traditionally also sort of amplify from the state. We are at a red alert level of 36.3 daily cases per 100,000. Again, based on the same data and lagging a little bit. That is still up from 29.9 cases last month. But in our conversations with Chesapicot, we're seeing some of the trends, and most importantly, the hospitalization trends are going down statewide. So hopefully that's an encouraging sign going forward of the current sort of spring, early summer surge that we've had here. Moving on from COVID, a little more COVID. Reminder, we do have COVID test kits available for our residents at both Human Services Department here in Town Hall and also our library. I'd just like to announce publicly that Chief Dreif is going to be appointed president of the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association. I know I informed the council of that recently, but we're very proud of Chief Dreif, who I know was here earlier to present to the council. He will be sworn in this Thursday as the next president of the CPCA. And it's a very well-deserved honor and a great opportunity for Chief Dreif to represent and advocate on behalf of the profession and also for legislation and policies that are in the best interest of communities like Cheshire. So congratulations and thanks to Chief Dreif. Up next, I have a note on the Planning and Zoning Commission adopted on May 23rd, the Town of Cheshire's 2022 to 2027 Affordable Housing Plan in advance of the statutorily required June 1st deadline required in Public Act 17-170. The Affordable Housing Plan was previously shared with council members, but it's also available on our homepage of our website, cheshirect.org. The Affordable Housing Plan serves as a supplemental addendum to the existing Plan of Conservation and Development and is designed to articulate the community's specific efforts to increase the availability of affordable housing. Also, again, I know some of these I've updated the council on before, but for public consumption, the Cheshire Senior Center is very proud to have been recognized nationally for receiving a national award for its nutritional distribution outreach program throughout the pandemic. So congratulations to our senior center. Just a reminder that dog licenses every June, we remind folks that June is dog license season. So please be sure to get your canine friend licensed, and we have a link there to the applicable application, or you can visit the town clerk's office. Also, the ever popular Bartlum Beats concert series. We don't have the band names just yet, although I think one was announced earlier today. But as a reminder, and mark your calendar, for 4 Fridays in the summer, we have Friday, July 22nd, July 29th, also August 5th and August 12th. As has been the tradition, the rain dates for all of those will be the following Tuesday, and those concerts start at 7:00 p.m. And a few more just brief department updates. The fire department received a new LED light tower that they're very proud of. Chief Kazner is very proud of. This was received as part of the regional Connecticut DEMIS regional grant. Also, just a note, the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall, which I know we've been publicizing for the last few months, had a successful engagement here in Cheshire with really some beautiful weather also, which I think helped. Organizers have told us that they've accounted for close to 10,000 individuals visiting the wall during its time in Cheshire. We recognize and thank all of the individuals and organizations that supported this community event and whose efforts were integral in making it happen. And finally, almost finally, town facilities, as a note, will be closed on Monday, June 20th in observance of Juneteenth. Please note while town offices will be closed, the Cheshire Community Pool and various recreational sports clinics and lessons will remain open as scheduled. Additionally, there will not be a delay in trash or recycling collection. And then a few economic development updates. HOB Industries acquired 25 Nodder Drive, a 40,000 square foot building on 7 acres for $2.1 million. They're consolidating their operations currently in Wolcott and Waterbury in this new Cheshire location. They'll be doing extensive renovations on the building and bringing upwards of 30 employees to the site. HOB is a metals manufacturer and the largest producer of wick clips, which are the little metal piece in the bottom of a candle. The first meeting of the Cheshire Manufacturers Roundtable will be held also this Thursday, June 16th at Town Hall. This is the first in a series of quarterly meetings that are connecting local manufacturers ranging in size from small tool and die businesses to large international producers. Sean McCowan from the Cheshire High School is part of the group, and we believe this will lead to opportunities for our high school students tracking for a career in manufacturing. Rebel Interactive will be having their ribbon cutting on July 13th. The town of Cheshire received its award for the economic development and land use planning at an event in New Haven last week, and we were in good company as one of only 3 towns to receive the gold level award. Lot 7 in Stonebridge Crossing was recorded on the land records with a closing of $4.5 million. The bar grant planning grant will be submitted Friday, June 17th for the West Main Street area. And the Waverly Building is available. I know Andrew's been working in partnership there for availability of some long-term leases after significant negotiation. And the hope is to be able to secure hopefully a restaurant or some other business for that historic building. And with that, I will conclude with just some updated budget meetings and town council meetings in the coming weeks. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Can we announce that Street Quads is going to be opening July 4th?
You just did.
But I didn't say where. I didn't say where.
Well,
I
yeah,
wanted
so the
you-
timeline for Sweet Clods, so
Right.
Sweet Clods at Ball and Socket is hopefully still on schedule for a July 4th opening. I know they've had a lot of supply chain issues, so I would hate to commit on their behalf because it's been a lot
Okay.
of issues with
Sorry.
some integral equipment, but
It's
we're hoping it will
pretty
be very
exciting.
soon. It's very exciting, absolutely.
We did we walked through that and it was wonderful. So
Yeah, it is a good reminder. They are still open in their current location, and
Right.
they,
I saw
as
that.
my kids typically get me to take them there once a week, it's still as good as ever.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, very good, huh? I didn't say where though. Not that everybody doesn't know. Oh, boy. Okay.
Dave,
Just
sorry.
briefly, keeping with the food thing, but having a more town oriented, are there going to be the food vendors with the concerts?
I would have to confirm for sure. I believe so, or at least one or
Makes us
two.
a little money, which is nice.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Convenient for everybody.
I'll certainly confirm with Director Golick. I have not heard of any changes to the past practice.
Secondly, related to that, are they going to try to have one of them on the Great Lawn, even though it might be 2 years before it's actually there?
Yeah, I know we did that last year, and unfortunately it rained that night. And we had to do it on the Tuesday, but I know John is still trying to strategize whether that will work this year with Power Station's schedule and equipment. But I think that might be something we could arrange. Certainly, if the council wanted to see that again, we could. That would certainly nudge us
That
in
would
that
be
direction.
nice.
Yep. Sure.
Just out of curiosity, who were the other 2 gold awards for the economic development and land use?
I'll have to send you. I have a photo,
Okay.
but we're all holding up our plaques. And I believe Guilford was one, but I'll have to confirm. I'll get them for you. It's definitely not Simsbury.
Guilford's had a couple of huge $1 million condo developments there, remember? Charles talking about those? Yeah. Huge. Okay. Well, thank you for all that hard reporting you did there. Sean, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
I know we don't see enough of you. Okay, you also have, obviously, your police, fire, and fire marshal's reports. And we will, again, move on to chairman's report. And do we have any of those, members of your respective
No report.
committees?
No, just the ordinance review committee met earlier and made a recommendation to the council for new town council voting districts.
Got you. That's true. Mr. Walsh?
No report.
Mr. Bowery?
No, Budget Committee next Tuesday to
Right.
hopefully finalize the capital budget.
Right. And audits had their time in the sun. Terrific. Okay, with that, there is a referral of administrative assistant, 1 job description for Parks and Recreation and Fire Departments to personnel. Number 2 is a referral of a fair rent commission ordinance to Ordinance Review Committee. And number 3 was at their request and not on your list. You didn't get my amended menu. of a referral to solid waste for consideration of joining the Connecticut Coalition for Sustainable Materials Management. Ordinance at the request of Mr. Walsh, wanted to have an opportunity to at least discuss that. So with that surprise, he'll bring you up to date tomorrow. So, and now I go on to miscellaneous. We might as well remove that. No, I guess we can't. There's no miscellaneous I'm aware of. We now move to 11, which is appointments and liaison reports. We'll start with liaisons to my left.
No
Ms. Welliver,
No report.
Ms. Bowery, Ms. Malone, Mr. Talbot, Mr. Jenks, you always have a report.
It's my favorite part of the meeting. I do have a quick report. So just to follow up, you'd asked about the bells. Actually, Public Safety Commission will be having an event probably now early July. So we'll be distributing them then. But we do have the bells and they'll be distributed soon. Also, Beautification Committee, I don't know if anyone's been to the pool recently. They did a project to improve the entryway there. There's a couple gardens in the front. They put in a few, I think, new trees, but definitely, cleaned it out, and it's all mulch now, so it looks very good. Sustainability team is actually working hard now to identify projects that they can do to move Cheshire from currently we're bronze, recognized as bronze for sustainability. We're trying to move to the silver level. We need to achieve another 200 points in terms of projects that we can submit to Sustainable CT to qualify. So we're in the process of identifying what those projects could be. Perhaps could be applying for silver in the August deadline. If not, it'd be the next deadline, which would be next spring in April.
Jim, a question. Has there been the symbiosis between some of the volunteer groups and, has that really occurring in a way that you guys are happy as a committee?
Yes, I think the short answer is yes. Off the top of my head, which groups are working together, hard to say, but the sustain.
Like some of the grant requesting and things of that nature. I didn't know if any of that plays into the role of this group or not, but.
Yeah, I know that I think the Pollinator Pathway received a grant recently or did a matching grant through Sustainable CT. Other than that, I don't think that the group has really applied for other ones recently.
Okay.
But there is a variety of groups that are working together with, as far as the Coalition for Sustainable Cheshire goes, that are working toward these various sustainable projects and things. So. Short answer is yes. I just, off the top of my head, I can't really
That's
identify
fine,
which
no,
ones.
But there's good progress.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I guess that moves us along to any appointments to boards and commissions. Do we have any?
I have one.
Ms. Pavano?
Yes, in Ms. Nichols' absence, I do have some. An appointment of Greg Geyer to the Inland Wetland Commission. He is filling the vacancy of BRZOZOWSKI. I wouldn't even attempt to.
Brzezowski.
Thank you. The term is from present to 1/31/25.
Okay.
I will second. I do not have any of my own, but I do know there's one in the pipeline for wetlands. And if it's okay, I'd like to get that appointments to boards and commissions added to the meeting on the 21st. Is that
I
possible?
think that's fine. I think that's an important appointment.
Okay. Thank you.
Presumably, that's a replacement for Kerry Dunn?
Yes.
Okay, good. You're on it. That's great.
If I could, just briefly, speaking of the 21st, and I don't know, maybe this is going to, but we will also have another agenda item, I believe, for district, and maybe you'll be covering that. So I didn't mean to jump in, but.
We're going to be adding the voting districts.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that still doesn't make it too heavy.
No.
You need to vote.
Just wanted,
Just filling up that calendar already.
making sure.
I wasn't overly distracted. No, I wasn't overly distracted. Okay, so we're going to call for a vote on that. All those in favor?
Okay.
And we are voting on that appointment. Thank you.
Here, you have to sign this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we're on to 12, our town attorney report communications. If there is any report.
No report unless you want to talk about foreclosures some more, we can talk about.
No, I think you did a great job. We got our last one. Okay. I think we're good set on that. And anyone have letters to the council that they want to reflect upon or pass along? Actually, I could speak of a communication that had to do with some poison ivy that we took care of. It was a sidewalk issue, included photographs, and I think they're still on it. But it's working out well, and it's good that we were responsive so far. Anyway, I think it's good. Again, we come to that miscellaneous. I guess it's just a catch-all. I don't have any more miscellaneous stuff to talk about if nobody else does. And we are aware. I'm aware of one item we're going into executive session for. Are there any other people to be invited in?
Yep, pretty much. So there will be two items.
Two items?
And we'll have folks here in the audience all.
Okay, so I'll be looking for. Right,
that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll be asking for a motion to go into executive session to include Jim Jascott, Noel Shepherd, our good friend, Mr. Personnel over there, and Marilyn, you will be excluded. You don't get a vote for the purposes of discussing contracts.
It's contract
an
negotiations and
assessment
pending
appeal.
litigation. Yep.
Yep, pending litigation. Okay, we have a motion. Okay, we have a second. All those in favor? Thank you.